When it comes to death, do you personally ever think about it?
Yeah, I think about death every day. Like, I could die today, I could lose one of my dogs today, I could lose a family member today.
Could there be anything that could be done with, let's just say, you and Young and Ace sitting down together and saying, look, we got to get past this?
Charles Jones, whose stage name is Julio Foolio, was shot outside of a hotel this morning. His attorneys call it an ambush.
To announce the arrest of 3 people in the deadly shooting of Charles Jones, also known by his stage name of Julio Foolio. These individuals took extreme measures to try to cover their actions. Isaiah Chance, Elisa Andrews, Sean Gaithright, Davion Murphy, and Rashard Murphy are all accused of playing a role in Jones's death. It's found that the shooters are members of or affiliated with rival gangs of Jones that go by ATK and 1200. Jones was part of the 6 Block gang. Detectives believe that the ATK and the 1200 worked together to target Jones as part of an ongoing feud in Jacksonville.
Ain't Young and Ace and ATK?
I want to send a clear...
June the 14th, 2024. Jacksonville rapper Charles Jones, infamously known by his stage name Julio Foolio, takes to Instagram to publicly invite people to his Airbnb birthday celebration pool party, which will be hosted in Tampa, Florida on June the 21st, and his official birthday bash at Club Teaser on June the 22nd. Due to the party being hosted outside of his native town, Jacksonville, where he has been embroiled with Jacksonville rapper Young and Ace in a ruthless gang war that has seen both sides lose their friends and family. Perhaps Foolio may have thought that people who wanted to see him dead would make the 3-hour drive from Jacksonville to Tampa to try and calm him down. His comment section on Instagram definitely didn't think so.
Okay, so here we go. So for what we know, he was advertising a birthday bash. Tampa, Florida. By the way, he posted this on June 14th. Tampa, Florida, my Airbnb pool party. June 21st. DM me for the address. Multiple people beforehand, they're like, shit getting shot up. Man, they gonna shoot the water out the pool. I'm staying home. Don't show up if you like living. This is what people were saying a week ago. There's nothing positive. They finna spray it up. Watch. Unless you got Secret Service with you, I am good. Yeah, you finna get shot up if the ops comes. I wanna see the aftermath.
And at 5 p.m. on June the 21st, he would post on his Instagram telling everybody who had the address to the pool party to show up at 6 p.m. at the Airbnb.
The pool party start today at 5, 6 o'clock. If you already got the address, pull up, man. You got the address, pull up. If you need the address, DM me right now. The pool party start at 5, 6 o'clock. We just got here, bruh. You got to add it. You got to add it, man. Push up.
Late into the night, the world would see an inebriated Foolio thanking everybody who had shown up to his pool party and encouraging them to have a good time and enjoy themselves.
Me drinking, cuz. I don't even drink, cuz.
You're supposed to have a chaser.
Appreciate everybody popping out for my birthday, you know what I'm saying?
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Everybody got their shot, put their shot in the air, man. Okay, David. Everybody take that shit on 3, man. 1, 2, 3.
Little did he know, the night was about to turn deadly. Reports state police would show up at Foolio's Airbnb and ask the rapper and his entourage to leave the Airbnb because the gathering had exceeded the occupancy limit. So, at 4 a.m., they would relocate to Suite 2 Homes by Hilton, and while in the parking lot of the estate, 2 men would ambush Foolio's vehicle and unload a barrage of shots into the car, hitting all 4 occupants in that vehicle, with all the other occupants in that car expected to make a full recovery, but with Jacksonville rapper Julio Foolio succumbing to his injuries.
Charles Jones, who went by the rap name Julio Foolio, is dead, and 3 others are in stable condition after a shooting in a Tampa hotel parking lot. Hours before the shooting, Foolio posted on social media about a pool party at an Airbnb. He then posted saying the police shut the party down and kicked them out. That's when he went to the Holiday Inn, where his lawyers say he was ambushed. Video shows crime scene tape covering the hotel entrance as investigators canvassed the area for evidence. The shooting happened right before 5 in the morning when 2 cars were shot at, according to the Tampa Police Department. Foolio died at the scene.
And the same way he had dissed Young and Ace for being caught lurking with 3 of his friends dying while out celebrating his best friend's birthday, in a twisted turn of events, Julio Foolio and his 3 friends would be ambushed while he was celebrating his birthday in Tampa. And of all the 4 men who were hit by gunfire, he would be the only one to from his injuries.
I don't know about when he was in the car with Ace and all that shit, I chill down, but listen, call with me, they gonna be safe. Safety first, nigga, keep your seatbelt on, buckle up. Y'all ain't lacking in this car. You ain't gonna go down like that in this car, man. Scoot over, Quan. What are you doing? The 23 hold, man. Come on, man. We going. Y'all being some badass kids, man. Come on.
To fully understand the brutal gang war these 2 Jacksonville rappers have been embroiled in for the last 8 years, which eventually led to the demise of Julio Foolio, I need to take you back to the events that transpired way back in January 2016, which should give you a sneak peek of the environment these 2 rappers came from, the pain and heartless disrespect behind the music, and all the victims that lost their lives in this gang war. Now, similar to gang wars in Chicago and New York, where younger generations inherit beef from older generations who battled for drug turf and territory, and the story, the first catalyst in what has turned into a bloody gang war, could be traced back to a shooting that claimed the life of a 22-month-old baby boy, Aiden McClendon. The gang behind the passing of Aiden McClendon was PCE, or better yet, Problem Child Entertainment, hailing from the north side of Jacksonville, where a young Foolio could be seen at a gas station putting in work for his gang. Now, before PCE could morph into KTA as we know it today, the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office would arrest 10 individuals from the PCE gang for racketeering, including charging 2 men and a woman in connection to the shooting that took the life of 22-month-old Aiden McClendon.
2 Jacksonville teenagers are now facing life in prison with parole for the gang-related murder of a local toddler in 2016. About an hour ago, 2 guilty verdicts were read, one for Henry Hayes and one for Kwame Richardson, who were tried separately. Prosecutors say both were targeting a rival gang member when 22-month-old Aiden McClendon was shot while he was sitting in a car with his mother.
Following the record that took down 10 of the highest-ranking members from PCE, it would then morph into KTA, alias Kill Them All, with future rap sensation Foolio, who hails from the north side of Jacksonville, specifically the Hilltop Village Apartments, being the most notable member, along with his frequent collaborator, Kojak, Tiki, his 2 close relatives, Zion Brown and Bibi, Trey D, Spares 2 times, and K Shorty, being amongst the most notable members who pledged allegiance to KTA in their bitter war against ATK, which included Jacksonville's most infamous rapper, Young and Ace, along with his blood brother, Quan, his best friend 23, gun-toting savage Queso, Kobe, Rallo, ATK Scotty, Trey Shorty, Fast Money Goon, Corbin, A Boogie with a Chopper, and Spinner Benz, who were blood relatives to Aiden McClendon, the 22-month-old baby who passed away at the hands of PCE members. Now, when Foolio was asked in an interview from October 2020 about the events that had preceded, which ultimately led to a gang war he found himself embroiled in Jacksonville, this is what he had to say.
That, it be a respect thing, then in the neighborhood where you from, and then it homeboys, like you disrespecting my dead homeboys, so now I want to diss your dad. You know what I'm saying?
And in this beef especially, would see a lot of instances where rappers are dissing one another, gang violence as a result of territory, and numerous instances where members that had passed away were being dissed in rap songs. And the first real escalation between ATK and KTA would transpire on May the 17th, 2017, where at 1 a.m. ATK member Trey Shorty made his way to a home on North Row High Trail in Jacksonville Cedar Hills Estate neighborhood. He threw a brick through a sliding door, walk in, and shoot KTA gang member and Foolio's blood cousin, 18-year-old Zion Brown, multiple times, then proceeded to unload multiple shots at Zion's 16-year-old sister, hitting her hip and ankle, also hitting his 9-year-old sister before fleeing the scene.
Tonight, we are hearing from a teenage girl still recovering from a gunshot wound in a triple shooting over the weekend. Now, we're blurring her face for her protection because the gunman hasn't been caught.
It's traumatizing. Seeing all that, you don't know what to do, you panic.
Now, that 16-year-old you just heard from was wounded early Saturday morning inside a home on Rawhide Trail. She was shot in the leg. A 9-year-old was shot in the neck.
Her 18-year-old brother, this man Zion Brown, was killed in that shooting. His was part of an especially violent Memorial Day weekend.
After numerous testimonies from the witnesses around the neighborhood, on May 30th, 2017, the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office would head to Orange Park and arrest ATK gang member Deontay Thomas for 1 count of second-degree and 2 counts of attempted.
The teenager tells News4Jax that her family was woken up about 1:30 in the morning Saturday when a brick came crashing through a sliding glass door in the back of their house.
18-year-old Zion Brown was the only adult in the home, along with 2 teens, a 9-year-old and a 6-year-old boy. Today, police said Deontay Thomas was the shooter. They charged him with murder.
And as late as July 2020, Trey Shorty would be sentenced to life in prison, ultimately losing his freedom because of his role in Zion Brown's shooting. And following the slaying of Zion Brown, KTA would look to avenge the fallen member. And in May 2018, ATK shot caller Young Ace would appear in an interview with My Mixtapes, relaying the story of how his mama's house had been shot up while he was in his room with his brother Conquan following the murder of Zion Brown.
This just be my room right here. Them boys shot my house up. I was right there on the bed, me and my little brother Conquan. They shot my house up from right here. This is my mama right here. They shot my mama house up. They shot this part right here. My mama was in the room. They shot that up. My house always shot. They always spent on my. But then we doubling back though, for real. Come here though.
But what was about to transpire next, Young Ace couldn't have possibly foreseen, because on June the 8th, 2018, Young Ace was out celebrating his best friend 23's 18th birthday, and along with them is Ace's brother Conquan and his close friend Kobe. They would post about their day on IG in good spirits while at the St. John's Town Center. They would post a picture on Instagram embracing each other outside the Wasabi Steakhouse. Young Ace would go on numerous interviews claiming that he regrets how much he let his guard down, and he claims that he had suspicions that there might have been people who were looking for an opportunity to harm them while at the Wasabi Steakhouse.
Ain't nobody just gonna just creep up on me like that. Yeah. They have to been sitting outside.
At around 11 p.m. that night, Young Ace, his brother Conquan, and their friends would leave the Wasabi Steakhouse, and as they drove their Chevrolet sedan to the red light on Town Center Parkway, another car would pull up beside them and unload a barrage of shots into the vehicle. And when the gun smoke settled, 18-year-old Trayvon Pollard, 19-year-old Jacoby Grover, and 19-year-old Royal Smith Jr. had been hit multiple times and unfortunately would succumb to their injuries. A video would surface on the internet showing a bullet-riddled Young Ace on a stretcher recounting the events that had just unfolded.
I tried to come forward, but I tried to hold RV. I'm trying to hold him. I'm trying to RV open the door. I open the door, I'm pushing him out. I'm like, bro, I got you, bro, I got you. He grabbed my shirt, like, bro, I can't move. He telling me he can't move. I jump out the car. Cope opened the door. Cope said, call it in. It's Conquan.
And back on 6 Block, Foolio would post a video of him laughing and dissing his ATK rivals with what seemed as a misinformed Foolio, thinking that Ace had also passed away, which of course wasn't the case.
Them boy lost the Fortnite match. I took cold up my cold summer alert, man. 2-3 pack, man, Ace pack.
And after determining that 3 of the 4 victims in that shooting were documented gang members, the only arrest the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office were able to make was the arrest of Young Ace for a probation violation, as he was allegedly spotted at a gun store earlier that day holding an unloaded firearm, which apparently violated his probation conditions, which stemmed from a case where Ace was the getaway driver when him and an unnamed individual were arrested for an attempted robbery, which resulted in 18 shots being fired and Ace's partner almost hitting a 12-month-old baby.
Police say Kenyatta Bullard, who is also known by his rapper name Young Ace, is charged with violation of probation. Last October, Bullard was sentenced to 31 months probation after appearing before a Clay County judge and pleading no contest to accessory after the fact.
Well, police say he had a firearm on him, which is against his probation, of course. So this morning he is in jail, set to make his first appearance in less than an hour from now. It appears some people, though, are a bit upset and angry about Bullard's arrest. JSO says its communications center received nearly 700 calls in about an hour and a half's time because of a social media post related to the arrest. They say the post advises he is supposed to be in the hospital right now, but is in jail instead.
And because of this probation violation, Young Ace would be booked into the Duval County with bullets from the shooting that claimed the life of his friends still being lodged in his body. So the judge would deny Young Ace bail and keep him in the Duval County, still riddled with bullets from that night and ultimately missing the funerals of his friends and brother. And while Ace and ATK were grieving, Foolio would take to social media to show the world that he was smoking on that ATK pack.
Royale
Royale Smith. This that 4X. Who else that is?
And on August the 3rd, 2018, Young Ace would drop his smash hit, Pain, rapping about how he had lost his mad brother, his best friend, and his blood brother all in one night, his unwillingness to tell their mothers what had happened, and how he blamed himself for being caught lurking that night. Following the shooting that took the lives of 3 of Ace's friends, 6-block menace Foolio would drop Dead, rapping about how the chopper turned 3 of Ace's friends into angel dust, and how he and his gang went 3 for 3 against his ops, and even going as far as dropping his home address for anybody who wished harm on him. And after his bold display of fearlessness towards his ops, he'd later reveal in an interview that his house would be shot up on multiple occasions, with his mother also being hit.
Nah, my house had got shot up. I spent on my house and shit like that, and my mama got hit one time.
And it was also on July 2018 where ATK gang member Coben Johnson would go missing, and his family wouldn't hear from him for another year. And back in the streets of Jacksonville, the war would continue to rage on, because on January 19, 2019, Young Ace would drop his sentimental track, Screaming 2 Times, where he rapped about himself in third person, about his inability to sleep after he saw his little brother get shot in the head and passed away, and his unquenchable desire to retaliate against KTA. And the same day 2 Times Screaming dropped, ATK Goon, Boss Goon, would be performing at the Paradise Gentlemen's Club, and after a successful performance, he'd leave the venue along with his father Abdul Robinson, his blood brother K-So, and 3 other friends in that vehicle. And as Abdul drove to Emerson Street, a car would pull up beside them and unload a barrage of shots, hitting every occupant in that vehicle, then fleeing the scene.
Was in the truck with 5 other people. His dad, Abdul Robinson, was driving.
I guess 2 or 3 cars pulled up on the side of us, got inside our car over 100 times. Put my son in the front seat, my son in the back, in the head 3 times. Shot my nephew several times. A couple more passengers in there were shot several times, numerous of times. And I drove all the way from there to Memorial Hospital, shot in the back myself twice.
Boss Goon would lose his life in this incident, with every other passenger escaping with minor injuries. And Foolio would waste no time in showing his disrespect towards the ops, saying Boss Goon deserved what happened to him.
Did not
nigga the third to die. The American Pie, that's what we gonna call him, the American Pie Willie. He ain't make it, Willie Rollo, he ain't make it.
But little did he know, Foolio was about to grieve a loss of somebody incredibly close to him, because on February the 25th, 2019, 16-year-old Adrian Gaynor Jr., also known as Bibi, would be chased and gunned down in the Hilltop Village apartments, with ATK menace K-So being the triggerman. But he wouldn't be charged for his involvement in this incident for over 2 years, with K-So going on a self-snitching spree, publicly celebrating and claiming responsibility for the slaying of Bibi.
Gunfire erupts inside a Northwest Side apartment complex. It leaves this 16-year-old. Neighbors say that the shooting sounded like a war zone. Sky 4 captured the large crime scene outside the Hilltop Village apartment complex off 45th Street just before 3 this afternoon.
Family members have identified the 16-year-old boy who was shot and killed inside the parking lot of Hilltop apartment complex as Adrian Gaynor Jr.
And Bibi's mother would then organize a memorial for his late son, vowing to march and disrupt Duval County until justice had been served for her son.
Y'all get together and y'all pray and put these guns down. Please put these guns down.
I'm gonna rock this city until they get justice for my baby. Until everybody involved are arrested, I am gonna shake Duval County.
That cremated ass. Poor ass. And they got his mom walking around. March. We're gonna get him, March.